How, gang? How are we feeling?
Just
A long rest.
yeah.
Needing a long rest.
Needing a long rest. Okay. Well, let's.
All in all,
These were not friendship.
Pax is fine. Pax can keep going.
Yeah, I'm not. PAX is. We'll talk about that in the after show, but I feel like PAX is the kind of just keep going, just keep going. You're the last one going, buddy. Just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. I will try and find here. Doesn't no, well. There was some very much. There was a very vivid descriptions in the book about how the different elements react to the ether. I'll find you the fire one, and we'll have a laugh. Right. So, after having basically lit up a pillar of burning ether, you ride the current, though changed somewhat, but managed to make your way back to Flow Island. As you come up to the beach where a lot of the flotsam from the battle has sort of now waved up on shore, you find a different scene to the one that you left. You left about almost now 7-8 hours ago. So enough for a long rest for many, but it's also enough for this small community of random sailors to have sort of grouped up and start setting up camp. But what you see is barricades. A lot of the you can see that there are certain elements of ship, so either planks or mast or rope. They have sort of set them up almost like a wall, and in some places they have sharpened spikes or up against the beach towards the water, sort of in a defensive position.
They've been attacked. Yeah.
Have they been okay, is there a way to tell if they're guarding against attacks from creatures, or if they're still guarding against attacks from each other, like drakes versus imperials versus kingdoms, etc.?
From what you can see, the defenses are it's not even a full camp, right? It's basically just parts of a wall that has been set up with whatever. It's disjointed. There are holes in the center. There's not. It's sort of just a small barricade that has been set up. And just on the other side, you can see a bit of wood smoke sort of rising up. There's a flicker of light coming through the breaches in the wall. So there is life on the other side. From where you are, you can't really hear anything just yet. You haven't landed yet, but you can see that yes, they have this sort of barricade between them and the beach proper.
Okay, so there aren't barricades fractioning the survivors.
No.
Okay, that's good. It's the last thing we needed.
We should find Barto and figure out what happened while we were gone.
Yeah, I think when we approach, again with the use of thaumaturgy, Astrea would use her booming voice to just warn the people. We're back! If Barto is there, we're landing now.
As you move up and you beach the you can see that there's evidence here of a lot of different materials, heavy things have been brought up the beach. You can see sort of furrows in the sand where they might have grabbed a crate or whatnot, sort of brought it in. When last you were here, there was maybe, I would say maybe half a dozen of people that were sort of How much did I? Had we determined actually how many people there were?
I
me
don't
check
think
my notes.
we had determined
No.
the precise number.
But what you remember is at least half a dozen, if not so, bodies just being washed up on shore.
Yeah.
Apart from several larger debris that may be too heavy to actually lift up and move, you are not seeing a single body on the beach.
The thing.
The
Probably been thrown back
maybe.
or grabbed by the merfolk.
Or succumbed to the malady, to poisoning.
No, what I'm saying, there's no dead bodies on the beach. So as you sorry, you had asked a question which gave me that, and I managed to forget it. So as you jump off the onto the beach, what were you doing, Astrea? Anyone?
Sorry, you said?
That was
I think
my,
I spaced out for a second.
yeah, that was my question. Was it, what were you saying before I
So Astrea has used her
right,
booming voice basically to warn people that we're coming and that this is not an attack.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, use the booming voice. Say, "We come in peace." I mean, yeah, to each their own.
Barto knows us, so
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's you just by the shadows that you can see across the breaches in the wall, there is movement on the other side, and sort of stepping away from it, you see this sort of this burly figure. Not exactly a Goliath or a giantkin, but enough where you might think that he might have ogre blood in somewhere in his lineage. Sort of, and it goes, what's, Bardo, there's, yeah. Don't worry about it. It's them. They're coming back. Folks, I think our cure is here. So, just keep breathing. We'll be right back.
Just keep breathing.
Yeah. And you see the diminutive silhouette of the halfling. I think I mentioned he was a halfling. Sort of walk on down. Say, "Oh, good to see you here. Yeah, come on. Yeah, need any help? Jorg,
yeah.
Jorg, come on.
Four big barrels.
So Jorg, this sort of half ogre, sort of steps in. He let's see. Maybe somebody knew him. Wrong book. Somebody roll me a d6, please. D6, somebody?
Coming up?
Okay.
Anyone.
Oh, coming up. I heard it coming up.
Oh. That was a mistake.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna roll myself.
There's a complete
I didn't roll
silence.
it.
Yeah, there we go. Therefore.
Yeah, I heard someone say they had it, so...
Yeah. Okay. Farron. Yeah. Okay. Note to self: Farron's rolls are so long. I'm not asking you for these.
I know what's going on. It's basically if I switch from D&D to the window, then it kind of like freezes. It doesn't send it through.
Yes. By the way, if you are rolling,
the dice animation is fully done before you switch.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's kind of suspended in time and space, and it doesn't.
Yes, actually, the apparently D&D Beyond uses a physical simulator to roll the dice. So a 1. Anybody here from the acquisition?
I think I
Position,
would. Wait. Let me check again.
Yes, that's me.
That's you.
Position, that's me.
So, Jorg is actually part of your crew, Astrea. You know him. He was.
Jorg.
Yeah.
Good to see you made it, buddy.
Hey, hello. Yes. Yes. I know how to swim good.
Yes.
Let me. Jorg is definitely one of the. He was the one of the heavy handers. Let's put it that way. He's not that bright. He's enough in a fight, but usually, if he enters the room, people know to back off. But he's fairly mellow kind of guy, despite his size, and despite what he might appear. From what you understand,
Just don't anger him. It's
exactly.
one of those, just don't anger him.
Yeah.
Don't piss off the Wookiee.
Exactly. Very much. But he's also the guy that there's a lot of, just to make sure that nobody really angers him, there's been a lot of rumors that are spread about him so that people don't try and piss him off. But yeah, so Jork is, and it's Jork, so Jork. Yeah, and he basically grabs the barrel sort of under his arm. Good amount of strength on him, and he's sort of, but he definitely has that sort of look to the others, which he hasn't seen, and so so there's that moment where he looks at you, Astrea, and going, is everything okay, boss? That kind of thing.
And Astrea gives him the usual signal of, we're doing fine here.
Okay. But he sort of keeps his distance, especially from you, Pax. There's something. There's maybe he understands that you're the dangerous one. But yeah,
I'm the other heavy-handed one.
Yeah, so he grabs him on, and sort of Barto sort of looks at him. Yeah, so quick, let's get away from the shore. Bring the boat up. We never know. Got attacked by things from the sea earlier. Couple of people mentioning ether wolves in the water.
Yeah, we met those.
We saw a few.
Yeah. Not to say that, but we were both kind of expecting you to come back and you not to come back after that sort of light show we saw a few minutes ago. That was you?
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, not surprised.
Sorry, that's the stress.
Sorry to disappoint,
by
but
the
we're
way,
back
Liam,
now.
By the way, Liam, just quick question. Do I have to roll a constitution roll because I basically went back into the ether?
No.
Okay.
Wait, let me see. No. Besides, you've got.
I'm good with the answer being no, but I just wanted to make sure that we weren't missing something.
No. Swimming. No, I think you'd be. And anyways, if you had been, we're basically going to say that you have enough to cure anyone, and if you needed anything, you'd be.
Mm-hmm.
The camp that you join, as you pull up the boat sufficiently high so that you think, and Jork helps you out, Pax sort of bring the boat just maybe a couple of meters higher than the water level. The ether does not have tides, so you're pretty sure the water level is going to stay there, but enough so that something slithering up will not be tempted to go in and sabotage it, for example. As you come up, you can see that there's a woman there. not exactly young, maybe in her 40s. Also, she has she's basically on guard duty, and you can see that there are three crossbows of different makes and models, sort of standing at the ready, just where she is. There's a small sort of gap in the wall where you could maybe put and you notice that the boat has been put into a position where it can be watched from that hidey hole, basically. I let's go for that other one. The 4. I believe that's Gizmo's boat.
You need the name?
Yeah.
It was the
Presidentation.
INS Predestination.
Predestination. Yeah. So she's from the Predestination. You know her. She was one of the she was part of the cooking team. She's sort of
nice.
a helper for the cooks. She's kind woman. Not necessarily the go-to for snacks if you wanted, but definitely the person to, if you felt a bit cold or whatnot, to let you closer to the oven or to closer to the camp. What you found for her to be sort of what you thought for her to be sort of stout. Now that you can actually really see her, you realize she's actually dwarven, but instead of having no beard whatsoever, but has her hair braided towards the front, sort of almost to form like a beard.
Look like a bear. Okay.
No. And these heavy matted sort of. Well, they were sort of this reddish, burnished copper, but now you can actually see through some of the strands have gone ethereal. You can see that some of the strands have gone this sort of pearlescent. And as you walk by, you can definitely see her coughing. Something in her eyes as she wipes away. You can see that her tears have gone a bit oily.
Oh no. Is that like a clear symptom
Yes,
of...
definitely.
Okay.
This is definitely a sign of poisoning. Yeah.
Okay. Remind me again. We still have like 8 charges, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Astrea would have taken hold of that cauldron and told what was it? The name of the halfling again?
Bardo.
Bardo. Who are the worst cases? Because we already have 8 doses.
Yeah. Worst cases. Well, to be honest, we lost 4. Jerk tried to.
The next worst.
Those two, they're. Well, we could try. And basically, yeah, you can see that there are two of these. 2 of them. They there's a I guess you would call him, yeah, just sort of a young sailor taking care of. You can see that he's also suffering from fever. All of them are suffering from fevers in one way or another. You're pretty sure that everybody's got the poisoning, but some are hardier than others, and someone like Jork is pretty much, he's gonna get the symptoms tomorrow, but that's just because how hardy he is. And most likely the dwarves are a bit sturdier, which means that kind of thing. But yeah, you have this young boy sort of trying to, basically trying to feed, I guess, water into one of the two afflicted. But yeah, you can count. You know what? Let's do this. I would like you to roll me 2d6 and then 2d4. Astrea.
Coming up.
Okay. Okay. So basically you realize out of the dozen or so that you're seeing around here, 6 are still sort of 3 of them are in a bad shape, and 6 of them are sort of still sort of either resting, but you can see they're hungry, they're thirsty, but you are missing something along the lines of 6 or 7 others that you had maybe seen earlier.
I mean, I'll ask about the missing ones, because he said they lost 4, so I guess they're somewhere. And I will probably go myself distributing the antidotes that we have to the worst cases.
So, the 2 worst cases... Make me a medicine check. Okay.
So 21.
21. So, out of the 2 of them, one of them is... you can see he was probably... he has the cut of... He's got his sort of coat has been sort of laid upon him like a blanket. Probably an officer of some sort, probably a navigator of some... he looks older. And clearly, unfortunately for him, you're looking at him and the first thing you see is that he's gone. He's gone to... The antidote is not going to be enough.
I need to rest, but what I can do is spare the dying. Would that give him enough time for, at least a little more time? Or is he fully gone, no chances of healing?
That's what I'm looking up right now, but if I remember correctly, there's... At some point you realize that unless you actually use magic of some sort, it's you... Yeah, so here we go. You can see that the fever has moved into something different. You can hear him, he's sort of... I'll put it this way. You hear him muttering under his breath, sort of like somebody's talking in their sleep. And when you go to examine him, underneath the coat, as you move the coat to examine him, you realize that his hands are tied to his chest.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that as well as his knees. He's immobilized, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And Barto goes, yeah. He started sort of saying gibberish things, and about 2 hours ago. I don't know. Do you know anything? I don't know how the sickness evolves or anything, but some of them have been saying it's...
Yeah. Immobilizing him, to my knowledge, was the right move, because he would have gone and thrown himself into the Aetherial Sea.
Not just yet, but that's the next phase, yeah.
Okay. He would have become aggressive, maybe, as a... How does it work?
So
I guess with a 21, I know it pretty well.
Basically... So, first symptoms are fever. The second is a form of delirium, where they will start mentioning that they can hear the sound of the waves or the sea calling them, and already have a tendency of moving towards the ether. The last one is literally where the blood turns to ether, organs start to crystallize. Basically what you saw with the boar.
Yeah.
And what you can guess is while Yeah, yeah. What you would think is right now, the way he's advancing, unless he gets magical help, as in a restoration spell, he's gone. There's no way of stopping the evolution.
Yeah. He's beyond my means. Except if you found a very, very, very good cleric on this beach. I think we're losing him.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Ryder basically goes, well. Okay. And just turns and just sort of just walks off. Sort of nonplussed.
Yeah, Astrea, you feel like she put on the grave air because she didn't know what the relationship between Barto and that man was, and she didn't want to be nonchalant about announcing such a prognostic. But also, yeah, turns around and says, "It would even be more humane to just end his life, but I don't know how it would be appreciated by everyone around here."
Hey, those kinds of decisions were always above my pay grade, and I'm happy for it. Pretty sure that you're the one in charge now, so that's your responsibility.
I'll look at the guy and then, yeah, as she did for the others on the beach, she's just gonna quickly, simply, probably with a knife, just aimed at the right spot, take off his last hit points because I guess he's like really, really down on hit points and just
No.
spare him further suffering.
Fortunately, as you're looking around after this, no, let's stay in this moment for a while. Farron, Pax, Gizmo, where are you as this is happening?
I think Pax is pretty much going to go into the camp, trying to engage with others around, asking after Captain Grasha or others from the Triumph, trying to see if more news came in from anyone that he was on a ship with.
I think
You are the Triumph, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll me a d6. Actually, roll me a d4, rather.
Yes, sir. Okay. That's a 1.
Yeah. You do find one member of your crew. Who are they? This would not be an officer. This would be somebody. This would be a sailor or somebody. Not a veteran. Let's put it that way. So this would somebody not in a lot of charge. Capable, sure, but.
Yeah, I'm going to call in a character I wrote in my background.
Okay, go ahead.
So you guys see Pax looking around, and it's almost a marvel he didn't spot this person before, but coming out from a couple of boards, you see another larger lumbering stature with the silhouette of one horn sticking out. And Pax walks up to what looks to be quite a haggard-looking female minotaur, dressed in rags of leather and cloth, probably looking worse for wear at this point, with one horn being translucent in a permanent state.
I will add to this the fact that you can clearly see the signs of recent wounds, as in within wounds that have been bandaged up, and then wounds on top of that. These are fresh. These were the stitches are maybe 2 hours old, 3 hours old.
Pax will pretty much just run up to her, going, "Karen! Karen!"
Pax, hey, good to see you.
I haven't seen anyone else from the Triumph. I thought,
Yeah,
it's good to see you.
yeah.
What happened here?
There's a few that made it to here. Well, let's just say that they wanted to take control. They arrived, saw members from other ships, and decided that that they were going to do this on their own.
Were they all from the same ship, or was it a group
Ours.
of other survivors?
No, ours. They maybe managed. Yes, it was Davaris, Marger, and Aeson. They came. The three that you were. Aeson was. He was not the bosun, but he was somebody sort of fairly high up. He was basically a team leader with regards to. I think he was one. Not the cannoneers, but he was part of the team to supply ammunition to the cannons. So he was a teamster, right? He was somebody he'd manage the transportation of goods from one side to the ship or another in a crisis.
He was the boss of the powder monkeys.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And he was sort of tough son of a bitch, son of a sea bitch, right? This is somebody who had grown on the sea. The ether was just another sea for him. Quite aggressive, and with loyalty. When he would give loyalty, he would never take it back, but it was something to be really earned. Right? You always heard your captain sort of complaining or about those days where she didn't have his trust, and she would basically, she had to beat the loyalty into him, basically. And so Karen continues. Yeah, so Aeson pretty much tried to take charge. Then realized that most were from the other ships and decided that he did a break for the provisions. You know how he was.
Was he with the captain?
No. Nobody's seen the captain.
What about you? Why did you not go with them?
Look, I tried. Look, we're in this shit together here. Not enough food, not enough water. I heard that, some of you, and I get, went out to the other islands with the only sort of dinghy available. Aeson wanted to set up an ambush to jump you guys when you got back. I tried to dissuade him, and he gave me a couple of extra scars. You know how he was against people who were not human.
Yeah.
Look,
He's not one I will follow if the captain's not with him. So I think you made the right call.
yeah, well, he didn't want me anyways. Called me a traitor, deserter. And then they tried to, They took a few hours, tried to build up a raft, moved off, and well, that's when we discovered that there are wolves in the waters.
Did they make it?
Look, he was good behind a cannon, but he was really good, but not much else.
At least he's not a problem anymore.
Doubt it. The only problem is that he took a few people with him. People we're gonna miss.
We have to roll with the things we find here. We have cures for enough materials for a cure for everyone.
Thank the cauldron.
Can you get people
thank
started?
the chariot. I think it's good.
Can you get people started on the brew?
Yeah. By the way, Pax. Look, there's been sort of talk about this elven woman about taking charge.
Astrea, yes.
Yeah, she's the one with you, right? So, I guess, how is she? What
Capable.
Ship what ship she from, you know?
I can help you with that.
The EMS acquisition.
Acquisition, so Assyrian.
Oh, Assyrian. Okay, well, at least she's not a trick. Okay. Look, you're the last person I know here, so I'm following you. But if you need anything, you let me know, huh?
Yeah. If there's anything, try to keep an eye out for the captain or Torg.
Yeah, about that. Kinda found Torg, but he had his head deep in the sand.
Ah. He doesn't work like you or me. Do you think we can get him back up?
Like I said, I found his head in the sand.
Ah. Right. Did you take it? Did you keep it safe?
I didn't really know what to do, so kind of buried him just yonder. You want me to go get him?
I'll go get him myself. I'll see if...
I buried him. You're gonna have difficulty to... I'll go get him. Okay?
Yeah.
Go get him.
I might have someone that could take a look at him.
Oh, okay. Sure. Right. Yeah, I'll go get him. And she just sort of stomps away. Minotaurs are not made for walking on sand. You can see that every hoof sort of sinks deep into the and so she's very much sort of sort of
Gizmo needs to make her some snowshoes. Well, sand shoes.
Yeah, kind of. Guys, please, in the whenever I name an NPC that is from your ship, please make sure that you jot them down in the ship management, so that way I don't forget people.
There's a ship crew, right? It was in my notes, but
Okay. Right. So, as the that was Pax. Gizmo, Farron, what do you guys do?
I
One of the
think
first?
that, yeah, sure. Farron essentially disembarks the supplies from the dinghy, including the meat and the water. Tries to figure out from the camp if any other quartermasters or cooks have been gathering whatever rations, kind of like collecting them. Essentially doing an inspection of what we're working with for the foreseeable future, especially for the number of people that we have available. There's a conversation to be had with Astrea as the de facto leader now as to kind of like the distribution of resources for the water, how much for the cure, how much for just basically people to drink.
Yeah. You get the so Gizmo, the woman from your ship, so the dwarven woman.
What's her name?
Her name is Tressa. And she was a quartermaster. Well, at least an aide to the quartermaster. So pretty much, so she can definitely help you, Farron. But there's that. Make me an insight check.
Insight, okay. I can do that.
I roll or as well, or
Mostly Farron first, but
okay.
Let's see if this time you get to see it faster.
Yep. Okay, that's a 14.
Good.
On a 14, as you're walking about, asking questions, looking about, one thing that you notice is that a certain level of rationale has come over the camp and the survivors, right? Any animosity that had been left over from the battle is now gone away, going, look, guys, we're all in the same boat.
Good.
Now there is that kind of, and that ceasefire, let's put it that way, is mostly due to exhaustion and to lack of food and the fevers. As in, we don't have enough energy to fight. But the way that some of the interactions you can have are still very much, that animosity is still there, just undercurrent. And you're not exactly sure what would happen when everybody's well rested and people start having their morals and their values coming back up to the surface. How a Drake and an Imperial will get along, for example, or how a Royalist and an Imperialist will manage to share food together.
Right.
So for now, it's not a problem, but who knows what happens once people are actually rested.
Okay. I try to see to it that there is a guard, if I can make sure that that's the case, a mixed guard of the food supplies. Like, I can't avoid right now, we can't avoid if any particular faction has hoarded or stashed away some supplies. We can't find out, but what we can make sure is that the stuff that is there remains protected and cared for and distributed equally. We don't need to add that complication. Gives instructions to smoke and preserve what meats can be with whatever meager supplies are available. And then just sits down and thinks of what drew all of these people together, the lure of treasure, the lure of potential gain, and I think there's that moment of, I think Farron catches himself thinking, I was so close, and then looks around and realizes that everyone around him thought the same thing, and that's what got them into this position. I think there's a moment of just taking that in, and just the frustration of being where he is because of those choices that led all of us here.
there's a moment where you're sort of making inventory of the of the different supplies, and you find that there's a small sort of sack, almost looks sort of like a purse or something, and you can, as you open it up, you can see there's a couple of coins, right? There's a few imperial marks mixed in with royal stampage. You know, the kind of coins that you would find here on the Expanse array. And almost by reflex, you grab one of the gold imperial marks, and there's a moment where you just sort of play with it, and as it passes from one finger to another, it goes from gold to copper. As in the denomination changes, as in you have a gold coin, and as you change it, it turns into a copper imperial mark. Different shape, different size. But you realize that, yes, you've... anything that passes through your hands.
So this is something, yeah, still paying it off. Still not there yet. And pockets the remaining copper. It's tries to do a mental inventory of a different kind. Tries to think of the coin that has passed through his fingers. Wonders how big of a dent he made, and by his reckoning, he was getting closer, and the whatever treasure there might have been at the end of the slaughter that ended up with them on a beach, maybe that could have made the difference. Maybe, just maybe. And then he lets go of the thought in frustration, because he knows that if he lingers there too much, his rage and frustration is going to keep him from what needs doing next.
So I'm not having you roll a history check to figure out how far in your debt you are?
Let's try that, actually.
Okay.
I'm happy to do it.
Mental note, do not put Farron as the group's treasurer.
Nope.
Maybe that's a bad idea. Yeah. Oh boy.
Would you roll?
Yeah, we're back.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You have no idea. You've lost count months ago. The idea that you can even sort of hold that the debt was so high. The amount was so high, and you're pretty sure that if he is to provide a service, every time he provides a service, that adds to your debt. And you're kind of realizing that most likely that invisible blade just maybe added a couple hundred. That armor of frost that protected you did not come cheap either. Well, maybe cheaper than the blade. You never really got a whole tally as to what equivalents what. But you're pretty sure that, yeah, that treasure was going to eat into your debt. But we'll have to see what shares left.
To be honest, Farron has been living with just the abstract hope of the next thing will help. and the next thing will help. And I think that essentially there's a part of him that maybe deliberately stops himself from fully realizing how bad the situation still is, because if he did, there'd be too much despair to maybe to get him out of the bottle or the powder or whatever else he uses to work through his day.
Anyways, the copper is yours, into a pocket with other jingling coins, always too few. And as you sort of get to rationing, basically making your calculations to kind of see how long you could handle here. With the amount of people that are here, so there's you four. How many did I mention as well? 6. You have another 8 people. So you're about 12, 15.
Right.
I think that's it. No, you'd be 13. 12 or 13. GT, pick a number. Let's go for an even dozen. Okay, there are 12 of you. The thing is, with the rations, you can maybe feed these people 2 days. I mean, fully feed, as in days rations, unless you're not, not separating whatnot. You could maybe push it to a few extra, literally ration them out. Maybe 3 or 4 days.
And that's including what we found in the wreckage?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Well, that would depend. How much? You found 19, I think. Plus, you have your own, right?
Yeah, I still also have my own.
Okay. Just account. Okay.
Notes.
Could somebody just account for that, and that way you have a better understanding of how much food you actually have for everyone. Now that you know where to find water in abundance, it's not necessarily a problem. The only thing is you need to go backwards and forwards. The barrel here will last you maybe another half a day, maybe. So you're going to have to find, or at least move this camp to where there's a better water supply. Gizmo.
Yeah, Gizmo still.
Yeah, Gizmo. The dwarven lady Tressa is still there, right?
Yes, Tressa.
But
She's.
they told me she's heavily poisoned.
So she's poisoned. And as sort of clearly marked as poison. She's not. She's a bit like Pax in a sense where she's resistant. Some of the. So she hasn't. She has caught the fever. And where others, the lines of ethereal might show up as the final stages for some people, she seems to resist it a bit more. So she's not that far off. So a drink of the antidote is sufficient to sort of stabilize her. But she has her dwarven ancestry to thank for that.
Okay. But, well, since the tall lady didn't give any clear indication of who to use the potion on and what to do with it right now, and I know she's
everybody's poisoned. Everybody's poisoned.
Okay. Yeah. So I will not touch to that because I don't want to anger the tall lady. So instead, I'll try to. Well, I think Gizmo is like in this moment he's living a very specific scenario where you've been in a completely new universe, a completely new world, a completely new dimension. He's just been yeeted into this whole thing, and right when he started to get acquainted to some new life, new rhythms, new bonds with his crew, everything went into wrecks, literally, after the battle. And basically, Trissa, I can imagine it. I can imagine her being the first familiar face, the first close bond and warm bond that he can recognize in this whole mess. So he will just try to kind of hold on to to that feeling for a little while because it's been a lot, even though he doesn't really try to show too much. And so he will try to maybe snuggle up to her, try to talk to her if she's responsive at all.
She is. She is. There's a reason why she's been put on Sentinel to do.
Okay, fair enough. So he will be like, you are a dresser, right?
Yes.
I know
Yes.
you.
I would hope so. Fed you enough treats for you to remember my name?
Yeah, those were actually very good. Do you happen to have a couple?
No, frankly. No, besides, those are... Anything that I had in my pockets has gone to the pile.
I see. Yeah, that's understandable. It's tough times for everybody. Mm-hmm. Did you see anybody else of our crew, by any chance?
No. A few made it to the beach, but there was that whole fight with the ones from the Triumph.
Yeah.
The nasty wounds.
Well, at least I can bring some good news. I can tell you that Scarrick is no more. At least.
That right bastard.
Yeah.
You saw him die.
Oh yeah.
During the battle.
Not during the battle. Just what was it, like a few hours ago? No?
Yeah, it was a few hours ago, about 4 or 5 hours ago.
Yeah. Just a few hours ago. We found him on the shipwreck. Still trying to, I don't know, do his wormy thingies.
The ship survived? It survived the battle?
Well, the half part of it kind of did. And then it sunk.
Huh.
It exploded, then it sunk.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there that hope goes out.
Yeah.
Well, he was a right down bastard, but if he went down with the ship, then that's in his honor, I guess.
I guess. Say, you still remember that story about the dragon horde you used to tell me around the stove when it was cold?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to?
You want to hear it, little one?
Then? Yes.
Okay. Well, then come on in. She sort of she has the she sort of improvised this blanket out of basically sailcloth, literally, sort of bringing you in closer. I said, yeah, well, okay, well, if I'm going to be telling the story, then you keep your eyes on the shore, huh? We don't want any more visitors. All right.
I nod with my head very.
Okay. Well, very far from here, in a land of misty mountains, there was a hollow hill. And she starts whispering this story about a young, well, in this case, a young kobold, traveling through hills and forests, lakes and rivers to find this dragon horde. Of course, anybody who would hear it would know that originally it was a dwarf. But for you, she makes sure that the hero of the story is a little
it's
blue
the best
and gold
protagonist
kobold.
ever. It's so relatable.
Absolutely.
I can just immerse myself in the story.
Absolutely. I think with that, is there anything else any of you would like to do? Astrea?
Astrea is probably, after having given the antidote to the people who are able to take it and survive, giving orders left and right, having the cauldron brought up to cook up more antidotes, because the others also want their dose, I guess. And just handling everything so that... and also, because her wisdom is actually quite high despite her manners, going to slide a word in different ears about there not being crews and, well, everyone having to work together, depending on what she perceives of the different personalities, trying to keep the peace and trying to convince people that as long as we're stranded here, combat has no point.
Okay.
And that working together is the only way to get out.
Do you want to make that persuasion or intimidation?
Persuasion.
Go for it.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna...
Yes?
I'd say
You can
if
roll
I
a
had
d4.
inspiration, that would have been with inspiration, but I don't have inspiration right now, and I'm going to add a d4 on that. Definitely.
Okay.
9.
I think at one point when Astrea is going around and she's passing near Pax is going to slip in to try and have a word with Astrea.
Okay.
I think I would lead you not fully away or fully out of sight of people. People can definitely see us talking, but definitely a few steps from the general area where people are gathered. Yeah. So, are you up for it?
Up for it. Guiding this crew and trying to get us off of here. I don't see anyone else volunteering. I'll do it.
Well, you're responsible for these lives, then.
I'll do my very best to get it. As much of us of this island and back on the expanse as I can. That's the only promise I can make.
I'll help.
Thank you, Pax.
Simply because my crewmates were the first ones to turn the blade. Have you heard of the attack?
I was there. Heard of the attack?
No.
Yes, bribes, but because people were talking about it, but I didn't have a full breakdown of what happened.
Essentially, some of my old crew banded together to try and take provisions and set out on their own. It is a non-problem because they are dead. But they might not be the men they took and the idea they planted. People from the INS Triumph are volatile when not under Grasha's command. Besides Charon and Torg, wouldn't trust my own team, my own crew. Not without the captain.
What was so exceptional about your captain that everyone followed him without lip or... And how could I convince them?
Well, for now, you don't have to convince anyone else, because aside from Charon and I, there's no one else from the Triumph.
Fair enough.
However, if you meet Captain Grasha, well...
You're skipping ship. I can respect that. Loyalty is a trait I admire. When it's not given blindly. She added a little bit as an afterthought.
Captain Grasha has an impossible ambition to ensure her ambitions are met. She is my captain. And you see him straighten up a little bit. Though definitely with your wisdom score as a cleric, he's clearly conflicted a little bit, despite showing... I am Captain Grasha's first mate. Until Captain Grasha is found or confirmed dead, I am forced to have a duty to the INS Triumph. Until then, you are in command and you are my commander.
Good to know.
And almost very dryly, after the acknowledgement of what he said, Pax just starts padding away. Not that he's storming off or anything, it's just conversation done by.
Yeah. Tria is not the one who's going to take offense to that, to that sort of closure. But she looks thoughtful for a moment. Then allow herself a moment of thinking and just really relaxing for a second, because she's basically been going 100 miles a minute since the shipwreck, basically. And then go back to the group, go back to the cruise, and go back to damage control. DM, remind me, last time a short rest had been enough for us to make the healing, make the cure, and drink it, right?
I will say this. I am going to consider these interactions that we had as our camp scenes for this long rest.
Nice.
And on that note, you may hit the long rest button, and I propose that we leave the session. We end the session on that peaceful note for once. I cannot
Very
guarantee.
nice.
I cannot guarantee it happens every time, but
Sounds good to me.
yes.
Not gonna complain.
Right. In uneasy calm is sort of takes over the camp. You are still very much in danger, very much in peril. Food is not easy to find here. There are still dangers lurking in the water, and there's still that brotherhood that escapes you with the crew that you have for now. But you can already start seeing that you four working together is at least bringing some of these factions together. Now, all we need to see is how do they react when ambitions in lucre step in. That's going to be for next time.
Yeah.
All right. Congratulations. You are safe for now. Now, the treasure hunt begins. So, folks watching, well, we've done this once, we've done this twice. Let's do this a third time. If you are here just for the story, feel free to move about. If you want to hear our thoughts about going forward and this last session, well, stick around, and who knows? We might actually answer some of your questions that you've been asking below. We'll see. So, on that, to those who would leave us, thank you for watching. For those who would join us, take a breath, take a breather, and we'll see you right afterwards. And there we go. There we go. So, folks, how are we doing so far?
Well, we're safe for now.
Ish.
We're
Yeah.
still alive.
I like all the little intricacies that are starting to seep in. All of the ship's little internal stories that happen before the battle are starting to show up, and factions are becoming apparent. It's
Yeah.
And a big thank you to the Cypher System NPC deck, which gives me all these names that I can...
Wait. What's that? What's that? It's missing on my wish list.
The Cypher System...
NPC deck. Okay, I found it. You can keep going. I'll join you.
By the way, they as we are recording, so this might be a while ago for you watching, but they've just finished their Kickstarter for the new edition and late pledges. So you can go and look at the late pledges if you wish. I think you have.
I can very warmly recommend the publisher house that makes it. Yes.
I've got everything they've ever published for Numenera, and they've just announced that they're doing a new version, and I'm going,
Numenera is very good.
Yeah.
I've got
Anyways,
the guide.
let's talk about this game. We'll play Numenera
Let's talk
further
about
down
it.
on the channel.
Don't trip me with a good time.
So, started out with an ambush. First of all, do we want to comment on the man now known as Farron's past? Do we want a little comment on that?
Very cool scene. That was so cool.
I am from a spectator standpoint during that flashback. I am entranced by Farron. I want to know more.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was he, and what? Oh.
So Farron, how did you like it? Because just so you know, and this is not putting you, Andreas, on the spot. That's not putting the push. But Andreas has, for word count, sent me more than the three of you combined. Twice over.
I'm so sorry.
Andreas is very much that player, and to his credit, is the one who's going to send, look, GM, I don't know what we're playing. I don't know the intricacies of the world, but here's my 5-page background story. Can you please include it? I mean, you've done that for me for Vampire even before we were playing in LA, so for our home game. But anyways, what I mean is that I was very much going backwards and forwards with him for the past 2 days, going, how am I going to play this thing? So I hope you are satisfied. I
Oh,
hope you're happy.
I am, and it's an interesting exercise in co-creation, right? Because I was like, okay, I don't know about the politics of the world, I don't know about kind of like everything else, but like I can cook up a backstory. And so what happened is this: I start writing my backstory, and then I start saying, well, it's a bit dry written like this. Maybe I should kind of like, and what I essentially did is I didn't write a backstory so much as I wrote a short story, and
Novelists.
And the problem with that is that also I was in a completely different film than everyone else here. So essentially, you have Jean-Yves essentially having to reel me back from, oh yeah, this is a super background story. No. Okay, well, this is a slightly less fucked up backstory. No, and kind of like let's try and find a place where this fits. Don't get me wrong. There's still plenty of knives and plenty of toys that he gets to poke me with, but at least there are ones that make sense within this world in a more coherent fashion. And so yeah, it's a great exercise in co-creation. I tried also to leave things for me, both as a player and as a character, to discover. So that's something that might be revealed. Am I going to talk about this now?
No.
Or am I going to
Leave it.
Okay,
Leave it. Leave
fair
it
enough.
for. Look, if they have questions, that's what the camp scenes are for.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave this for later. This is also one of my things, as both as a player and as a DM. Sometimes I want to get to the lore, and I do a lot of exposition that I really shouldn't do. So sometimes you just gotta tease it out a little bit. yeah.
Slow burn, man. Let's go for the slow burn.
Look, we've got
Build
13 levels.
anticipation.
We've got 6 modules in this fable. There's going to be more than enough time to explore that.
Pax is much more than just a lizard that can rip throats out. I did write stuff, not 5 pages.
But yeah, so
But
that was
My backstory is essentially discussions with the DM because I've got that luxury.
Fair enough.
My partner does the same when I play in her games. It's also just a verbal discussion. I would have written more, but time constraints. But I'm happy with the story.
I mean, look, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna move on to the next thing if you wanted to comment on this. I actually want to zoom in on the how organically the positions of us 4 as the core of this new crew is essentially being dictated as the story moves forward. We barely have had real direct interactions with one another because we're in a crisis situation, all of us. But I do like how the power balance is settling between the 4. It's honestly fascinating to see from my standpoint. It's organic, it's a flow. Everyone clicks into, like, we have commands being given without having to constantly rely on command. It's a common pitfall in RPGs if you play something militaristic or you have someone of a higher ranking role to just defer to that, and we don't have this despite having the proper ambience between players.
Well, it was discussed in advance as to, we
Absolutely
discussed as with regards to the characters, who would take on the captain role, who would done this, and that's actually part of the character creation that I found interesting, which is what were your roles on your previous ships, right? We haven't gone into that yet on screen. That'll come in later. But just the fact that you're discussing, okay, who's been a navigator, who was a cook, who was this and that, also helps have that. We know what to aim for, right? Farron, if you were the cook on your previous ship, you are not going to be vying for captain, though you could, right? You could. I've given 2 examples now of people trying to make captain above their station, and so that is definitely something along those lines. But it's working really, really well. So it helps to have that goal already sort of synchronized previously. But I really like how this is developing as well. Yeah.
It would have been a very interesting story potentially, and a very different one, if we had deliberately, for example, hey, there's 2 people here who have kind of like credentials for captain roles or leadership roles, and then to have that sort of contrast of, well, who is going to be in charge, who is going to be either push the other one into submission or earn the other one's respect out of seniority, out of competence, etc. But I don't think it needed to be the kind of story that we were telling. We already have enough of a crisis to deal with everything else happening.
Indirectly, I think it's something that happened between Astrea and Pax. Pax needed to respect Astrea in order to follow her. Very
Absolutely.
much, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's interesting, like Gizmo. Why do you think that you are essentially why do you think that Gizmo is kind of like following along the structure? Or is that something that you want to kind of like play a little closer to the chest and leave for us to
Me
discuss?
as a player, I'm still kind of trying to figure out what to do with Gizmo himself, because if you ask Jean-Yves, my backstory, since we're talking about that, is like, I think 10 lines that I sent him on a Discord post, and that's the whole backstory for Gizmo. So basically, I gave him the bare minimum that he could do like literally anything with whatever. So I'm still trying to figure out some details. For now, I'm more leaning on the fact that everything is still a bit alien to Gizmo, right? So he's just trying to find a way to go along with things without dying and without causing a mess or a scene, you know? Because to him, like, the world is like he's a tiny kobold in a big world that he doesn't know, so everything is potentially lethal. So he likes to just, if someone tells me to do something, I'll do it as long as they don't bother me or threaten to kill me.
Yeah.
In that way, I think that Farron and Gizmo are right now in a very similar mindset, funnily enough.
I wanted to find this session, like, there was not a chance, but I would like in the next sessions to try to have some kind of dialogue and interaction, because I think that might be super interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's happened the least so far. Like, you've had scenes with Pax, you've had some scenes also with Astrea. I've had a few interactions with Pax, but I don't think we've ever had an extended interaction, which feels a bit of a, like, I think there's some potential there, because
well, that's the fun part. Right now, we're being created in a crisis scenario. We're being thrown together, and it's either work together or die.
Yeah.
And it's only once we've settled into the work together, because we don't want to die, when that slows down, that we're going to start getting to know the people that we're working with, and then be like, oh.
True.
Is also on the macro scale what is going to happen once everyone's kind of like health is getting back to standard levels, because that's going to be spicy.
Yep,
it is. Good. Yeah.
Well, it's no longer going to be what was it that Farron did? He turned his back towards the jungle to make sure to look at the sea while he was filleting the pork. I don't think you have enough angles to be able to not have your back turned towards the danger zone once everyone's cured.
No, because that's what, like, every additional person, every additional bit of history in the crew, that just increases the complexity of the social map. And with both personal and political histories this volatile, there's that ship is a powder. Well, that crew of survivors is a powder keg, which of course is delicious storytelling.
Oh, and by the way, mechanically, DM, are you confirming that for now Astrea doesn't get the luxury of changing her spells, as we discussed? Yeah, okay.
You get your spell slots back, but you're not shifting.
Yeah.
Another point that will be interesting going forward is because, as we said, right now there's this whole crisis situation, but once that is solved, I wonder what the tie, the bond will be with the crew, like what the motivation will be to stick together, until the...
I mean, to be fair, traditionally, one of the best way of getting people to bond quickly and efficiently is just throw them in a fight together and have them watch their each other's backs.
Yeah.
I think we'll see how it goes, but essentially decisions and choices are going to be made, and the ones remain standing is going to become a crew, essentially.
According to military and my own experience as a nurse, there's no bonding as trauma bonding.
That's the interesting thing though, because we might bond as a crew that has a shared purpose, right? Or that needs to survive together. But if and when that purpose disappears, or that purpose puts us at odds, if we haven't really built a relationship that isn't built on, the goal that we have in common, or the thing that we need to do together, then that can very easily crack some other ways. And I don't think any of us went into this kind of like hoping for some PvP, but I think narratively exploring over time, we have time, that transition from, okay, teeth clench teamwork, we got to work together, to, okay, we respect each other, to down the line we care about each other, kind of like, hey, the queer found family tropes, kind of like the also, there's material there to explore.
Absolutely.
The traditional trope is a 5-man band, but we can make it work with 4.
Definitely.
The Beatles, they did fine.
Yeah, that had no issues whatsoever at any point in their history.
We already know who the tech guy is, and we already know who the strong guy is.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've got the leader, we've got the party animal, we've got the tech guy, and we've got the angry guy.
Recovering party animal. I've been trying to.
Look,
Pax isn't angry though.
Look, we've got Astrea is Leonardo, Gizmo is Donatello, Farron is Michelangelo, and we have Raphael with Pax. That's your 4-man band.
Listen, I know we had some conversations about a pirate flag down the line. But
just a turtle shell.
Turtle shell.
We need
now, DM, if you want our pirate flag to be a turtle shell, you need to make a narratively relevant turtle appear in the story at some point.
Don't do that. There are some terrifying turtles in D&D monster manuals. Please no.
I know.
Monkey paw girls. One finger.
Have no idea what the turtles look like in this setting.
Listen,
I believe they are actually mentioned. Oh, by the way, if you haven't noticed, in the handouts, in general knowledge, there's a couple of things in there, and I do believe that the word turtle is mentioned somewhere in there.
I need to look at that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that technically, since we are playing D&D, any turtle can become relevant to the plot if we decide so.
That is very fair. That is very, very fair.
I'm having flashbacks to what was it? Critical Role Campaign 2, kind of like.
Yeah, the Leviathan that gets turned into a turtle. Yeah.
Regular fucking turtle. Yeah. But also, thing to note, not just narrative-wise and in terms of kind of like how we collaborate as characters, but also, and this was not necessarily a given because I haven't played with all of you before, as players, I think this is working in an interesting way.
Yeah, we had a very good feeling since the start, and I think we keep strong, so that's very nice to see.
Yeah. You who are watching in the future and have seen us canceled by episode 12, let us know.
Oh no.
That is now a challenge. We'll make it to episode 13.
If you come here like as Apollo with the gift of prophecy, I swear to you.
I mean, the channel's track records are good, and our DM as a DM's track record is pretty good of getting over episode 12, so I hope it's not self-fulfilling.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to flesh out the crew. You for now have each and one of you have one NPC, which is from your your respective ships. I don't think we decided Bartoleo or Bardo what crew he was in.
I think, if I remember properly, he was from an other EMS ship.
Who was the person who shared a crew with
Barto was
Astrea?
from
Astrea, that's Jorg.
Yeah, right.
Barto
the
was
strong
from
guy.
EMS Endeavor.
Oh, he was in Endeavor. Okay. Somebody write that down.
I'll write it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think there's. Come think of it, like I've had characters in my backstory from people that I knew way back when, and people that I knew at the beginning of my, shall we say, shift in careers.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I've established someone that I know still. Well, I know we've established the cap.
Say that again.
Like we've established who was the captain of my ship, but I don't think we've met an NPC.
You don't have anybody from this. We haven't gotten a survivor on your end.
From the Kraken?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Kraken's
No.
finished.
True. Yeah. True.
We've so far mostly had survivors from the INS and EMS ships.
That
We've
is
not
right,
seen
yeah.
many Drakes. In fact, I don't think. No, at least Pax doesn't, because I don't have it in my notes. But we don't know that you're a Drake, right?
Not well. We've had.
He's not
That's an
wearing a
interesting one.
uniform. Oh no, but
Yeah,
he wouldn't
yeah.
because he was wearing an apron. So we have no idea. Right? He's a cook.
Yeah.
And so we've no idea if he's supposed to wear a uniform or not.
Also, there were the two chuckleheads from the beginning, like Abbott and Costello, who were worried about me kind of like slashing them. Did we ever figure out what happened to them?
Oh, they're dead, I think.
Oh, please add them in as well. They're part of Gizmo's old crew, right? Because you sort of liberated them, and they are survivors, and so they will definitely stay with you. Did we give them names?
I think
I'm
he's
checking.
talking about
Nope.
the two
I don't
guys that were threatening him at the very beginning, his opening scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, because those were not my guys.
the ones
Those
that.
were Drakes, other Drakes. If I remember properly.
Well, you know what? Oh, right, yeah, those two. Yes, those two. Interestingly enough, Gizmo, they're nowhere to be seen.
They probably jumped ship when the others in the raft.
I'm pretty sure. Well, or got stabbed, or something like that.
Okay.
Actually, no, Gizmo. You know what? Do you still want them there?
I mean, I didn't take notes about them. I didn't remember they were actually part of my crew. Are we sure that was an information?
No, they were not. They were not part of. They were part of the. So not the Kraken. They were part of the Black Spot, which is the other. So not Farron's. Wait, was it Gizmo getting? No. Farron was the one being.
Farron was in the Mexican standoff with the other
two Drakes, and so those were from the Black Spot and not. If you want their names, let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. Duncan and Dickon.
Dick and Dunk.
Dink.
Those were the two.
Those were the two. So Dunk was the one with the oar, and Dinkin was the one who got stabbed, who got basically first blood from Farron. You were.
I accidentally.
Yes, when you cut him.
Those reps.
Yeah. When you cut him to the quick. Right. Yeah, so you can, Farron, maybe add them to your roster.
Yeah. Hey, people, we have notes to write. This is how it's done.
Yes, and I have to improvise another 6 guys.
Okay, this is actually true. Do you know that there's literal campaigns that I have interrupted in the past because I was too ashamed of the fact that I didn't remember the names of key NPCs? Like literally.
That's why I have a whole bloody YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because then you can at least listen back to the episode.
Look, there's a campaign on the GenericGM channel in French where I come up with gods. Every single one of them is improv, including the name.
I'm playing that one tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing: is that I have not constituted a valid list of those gods because I have a list and I said, "Oh yes, god of this," and then forget the name, name them something different, and improvise another epithet to them. So I have what's on the show and what's in my notes is not always the same. And there might be, down the line, a confrontation where I need to have all of them present. And so I'm going to have to, at some point, go back and look at every single one of them, list them name by name. That's gonna be fun.
Or you can go like a kind of an Egyptian pantheon kind of stuff where everybody is like god of harvest but also fertility, just because yes.
And then in different cities they have different attributes and different names.
Yeah, exactly. And then you just that's how it works.
I will let you discover that show should you wish, and you will let me know what I can do to improve. Even better, if you decide to watch the show, please take notes of all the gods and send me the list.
There's this story that Christopher Tolkien wrote about how when he was a kid, he was obsessed with consistency with the improvised story that his father told him. Where he was like, last time you said Bilbo's front door was blue, and you said Thorin had a gold tassel on his hood, but you've just said that Bilbo's front door was green, and the tassel on Thorin's hood was silver. And he says, at which point my father muttered, damn the boy, and then strode across the room to his desk to make a note. And that's basically how it started.
I mean, we owe Christopher Tolkien more words than from his father.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And to be fair, it probably wasn't diagnosed, but I'd be damned if those two weren't at least a little bit artistic on the side.
Welcome to fantasy. Right. Anything else to discuss about the episode? About thoughts?
No, I just want to say that I still had great fun with everybody. Yeah. Like the other past sessions, so it's nice to see that the feeling is still going strong, still good.
On to the next.
Yeah.
We've got chemistry, we've got plots,
and a great balance. I think
coming up.
Great balance between conflict, as in combat, actual conflict, as in kind of like the tensions between characters, but also character moments. And I think it's not easy to kind of like have all of these elements represented within a single session. And the way that we've managed to do it, also, I think it's really been great to see and great to play with. So thanks to you.
I want to highlight 2 character moments that I think did a lot to define, in my mind, Astrea. In comparative to that scene and that triage on the beach, was the moment where in an ambush she goes harm and then blinks out. Essentially, I don't know if that was the idea, but that marrow is very much an ambush creature, and you putting yourself out of range next to an ally, nope, I'm out. Doesn't mean it's gone, right?
Yeah.
No,
Astrea is very much not a hothead and very much not a hero.
Idea, and I loved it was brilliant. The idea is that, you know what, I have these creatures, that are coming to, I'm going to try to scare them away using human technology. I mean, it's basically saying, you know what, I'm going to fire a machine gun above a great white shark and hope he understands what bullets mean. I really liked that interaction. Plus, it allowed me to slip in something about the world as well, which you do not know yet.
Ooh. Secrets.
Yes, absolutely.
DMs and their secrets.
But yeah, strange interactions on the ether.
About that thing with deciding to go with human technology instead of a predator like I wanted to in the first place, it's simply because of that nature roll that was barely passing it.
Yeah.
That was going, oh shit, I'm not gonna be able to do a kraken, or what's their predator again? I don't remember. So I'll just go for something I know.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no, those. But I like the idea that you immediately decided, okay, I'm going to shut this off, right?
Yeah.
We are. There is no need for a fight. If there is, I will put them in the ground, right? I will sink their ass. But they do not need. We do not need to fight. I like that was the first.
Oh, yeah, Astrea is very much diffuse first, because if you need to fight, you've actually already technically lost.
Unless you've got a gizmo and a barrel of gunpowder.
Yeah, but it's expending resources in a time where resources are very low. So fighting is already losing.
So, for those who noticed, there's one point right after Gizmo did it where I basically kind of like was almost crying with laughter without context. We have a meme chat because of course we do, and so right after that scene, we essentially have a picture of a beatific Elmo, and in the background a thermonuclear explosion. And so that's just so you know, the energy is it's good. It's very good.
I mean, it was enough 20, so I had to.
It was great.
So
I liked your chat, we are cooked, right before
Chat, we're cooked,
the
yeah.
explosion going off.
I mean,
this so just I found here that fire in ether. The heat of flames instantly vaporizes ether, creating a vapor that floats above the surface of the sea for a few seconds as the heat dissipates, then rejoins the sea. Extreme heat, such as an erupting portal to the elemental plane of fire or black powder explosion, can kick this vapor high into the air, where it forms clouds and glows like a sunrise. Permanent fire portals transform the sky for miles around, making it bright like a burning sunrise at all hours. Yes, the crater of Mount Spitfire on the island Drake's Caldera Island has one such portal. So yes, so basically artificial sunrise, Gizmo style.
Damn. Hey, permanent daylight. All we need is a fuse.
With enough kegs.
I know this is great, fellas. I am very pleased that we got to do this.
Same,
All right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
I saw your
on that
message.
note,
everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
On that
Night.
note, thank you all for playing, and to you who are watching, thank you. Look, you know what to do. I won't repeat it every time, right? This is our first endeavor all together. Please, if you appreciate it, spread the love, and if you do not know who these fine people are besides me, well, go watch the first episode. We have our introductions there. On that note, thank you for watching, thank you for your support, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Till next time.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Till next time. Yeah.